Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today, we are flipping through Mad Magazine number 319, released June 1993. Our price, $1.75, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. That's the #1 way that you can support this channel. Help it grow. And we want it to grow. 820, I don't know. Is it too much to say that it feels like my channel's blowing up? But it feels that way. Just a few days ago, I was celebrating getting 800. Now I'm at 820. What are we going to do? It was 800 by the birth of little baby Jesus. Let us now aim for 900 to celebrate his death and resurrection. Let me get an amen. Anyway, if you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Check that out, pretty please. These are the people that I get to thank for their support now. Jacqueline Gosling, Reflection of Perfection, Frank Snyder, Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. Well, let's get back here. Back to Mad Magazine, the whole reason we are here. And here I am. I don't know, this is a weird cover. The 90s were strange. Sometimes the covers were not memorable. It's not, is it a bad cover? I don't know, I kind of like that. Like he's becoming pale as the blood is drained from him. I don't know. And then we sink under siege. Okay, this is what's weird about this cover, I guess, is that I don't like this cover, but I remember this cover. It's sort of like, I guess, doing a bad enough cover, which I don't know if it's bad, I just know I don't like it. But doing a bad enough cover is maybe just as good as doing a really, really good cover. That's my hot take for the evening. Here, I still have the subscription card in this one. That's kind of fun. This one comes from my brother's collection. Look at, here we go. We have the wraparound, the brown paper bag. Important, the enclosed issue of MAD should contain 44,598 words. Kindly make sure they are all inside before accepting delivery from your postman. And then you have, this is when we lived on 5648 Pillsbury Avenue. That was one of my childhood homes in Minneapolis. Minneapolis making an appearance in this issue of Mad Magazine. Skate of Confusion, in reference to your article entitled "A Mad Report on Rollerblading, please be advised of the following. Rollerblade is a trademark of Rollerblade Incorporated. Therefore, in order to avoid trademark infringement, the Rollerblade trademark should not be used either in a singular, plural noun, or verb form. Rollerblade, rollerblades, rollerblader, rollerblading, to describe an inline skate, inline skater, or the act of inline skating. Slang terms such as blades, blader, or blading should also be avoided. Repeated misuses of our trademark name could cause it to pass into the public domain where it might be used by our competitors and imitators. As you may recall, this is what happened in the case of aspirin, cellophane, and linoleum. Also Kleenex, all once trademarks of the companies that originated these products. Deb Gronkowski, General Counsel, Rollerblade Incorporated, Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's right. The inventors of rollerblades were from Minnesota. This is an important distinction. They're not the inventors of inline skates. Inline skates actually came before, like, the roller skates. Just so you know, I don't want people to misunderstand, but the company Rollerblade and that modern design was made by Minnesotans. So there is that. There's also some other thing I wanted to point out in this letters department. That was this. If you always wanted to write to MAD but couldn't figure out how to operate a mailbox, now there's hope. Send your inane comments, snappy put-downs, and moronic questions to 212-752-6872. That's the same as dialing Planuppa, Al Jaffee's maiden name. Fax Mad. If you don't have a fax machine, use one at school or work. We'll print the best faxes in the letters and tomatoes department, and you never know, we might just fax you back. This MAD, it's so funny that they accepted letters over fax machine, but I guess it makes sense. They also accepted letters via email early on, and you could send them messages on Instant Messenger, AOL Instant Messenger. There are so many ways to contact MAD, and they have long been early adopters of communication technology. So we should recognize them for that. Also, right here, a worthless collection. This is a collection I have. The MAD binder, 110 trading cards, double-sided hologram, 4 spy promo cards, and a certificate of authenticity. That's all offered from Lime Rock. And guess what? It's one. There's only 20,000 made. So that's pretty cool. And here we have Dracula with Bela Lugosi making an appearance, top left. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Bela Lugosi, the most famous Dracula ever. Dracula is supposed to be immortal, but this latest version has me turning over in my grave. My Dracula was a classic, but this new version is pure Dracula. That's my Bela Lugosi impersonation. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me how I did. I don't remember this. This is an interview with a vampire, is it? Kramer's in it? Undertaker's in it. That's pretty sick. You probably shouldn't take the MAD movie parodies literally. Here we have unsuccessful fundraising events for little-known special interest groups. What are we going to find here? Oh, the Union of Allergy Sufferers Spring Hayride. The Clumsy Persons of America Bottle Drive. And then these two down here, I do want to zoom in a little bit because the expressions on these ones are especially amusing. We have the League of Dyslexic Friday Night Bingo Game. And you have, this face cracks me up. You have the cross-eyed, and then this one is so freaky. The other pupil and iris scooting over into the left eyeball. I also like this one. The Bedwetters Anonymous Summer Pool Party. Which, maybe they're just incontinent. Because they're not in a bed, they're in a pool. So why would they usually... I don't know. I just saw this one. I didn't read this one, actually. This is the Phone Sex Addicts Association Labor Day Telethon. Al Jaffee. You gotta love him. It's a requirement if you're a fan of Mad Magazine. Here we have the lighter side of. And you know what? It's a shame. There's so much good stuff in this. Oh, look at a Ferrari F40 that I don't have time. I have to skip over the lighter side of. And here we have a boatload of Duck Edwing. I was kind of talking about Don Martin enjoying his stuff, where it's like you get almost like a mad look at. And we get this now. Duck Edwing's Twisted World of Magic and Illusion. So let's hear it for Finocchio the Magician. Those tricks went out with the wagon wheel. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Cripes, he'll probably pull a rabbit out of his hat. He pulls off his mask, and he is a rabbit. I don't know. Another amusing thing is that despite all of these being different comics, and presumably all of these being different magicians, they read as the exact same magician. Because it's a man on stage, there's a big curtain behind him, and he's dressed like a Mandrake the Magician. That part is weird, but here we have Weebo, the wizard, Figoroni, the fabulous, the amazing anchovy. A lot of Italians are magicians. Is that a thing, or is that just Duck Edwing um, kind of messing with the Italians and the magicians? I don't know. But here we have Rick Tolka doing the artwork for writer Mike Snyder. Having baby boomers for parents means baby boomers, those born between 1946 and 1964, are quite a colorful group. They've been through the psychedelic 60s, the disco 70s, and the yuppie 80s. Um, this is going to hit close to home because guess what? My parents are boomers. Um, Boomers, having baby boomers for parents means getting long lectures about the junk on TV today from people who get misty-eyed reminiscing about Mr. Ed, Gilligan's Island, and the Brady Bunch. I think I do have a somewhat hard time relating to this because my father was like, he was the youngest, he was a baby boomer, but he was the youngest of 9 children. And so you can imagine his father was incredibly old. Uh, so I don't think he got like the traditional baby boomer upbringing from his parents. Uh, and thus, I don't think I got the traditional baby boomer upbringing from him. Um, like things like this, getting a conscientiousness raising instead of a spanking. My father never hit me, but I never had to worry about long lectures from him either. Thank goodness. Um, what else do we have? Dealing with a new parenting strategy every time some bonehead child psychologist shows up on the Today Show with a book to plug. Dr. Spock. Surely they're talking about Dr. Spock, right? Um, and then running across old snapshots of your folks wearing clothes that a deranged circus clown wouldn't be caught dead in. I think my parents are both very stylish. I don't know. It's funnier if you can relate to it. Here we have practical joke items for the pet haters. I do have to say, I love Paul Coker. You guys know that. But I don't know, for some reason, like these little illustrations, they just didn't do it for me. Um, no, would have been cool one if it was like Paul Peter Porges doing this. That I think would have made it a little more fun. Um, yeah. Here is one, the Mad Concert Maze. This is what Kyle Bridget, friend of the show, likes to call a Himmel builder. A Himmel builder. It's by it's or a busy picture or something. I don't know, a world builder picture. David Anson Russo. Use one of these 3 starting points. Well, here, you know what? Let me read this little intro. Hey now, let's play a little game. We're going to give you 200. Remember, this is just a game, Mr. Wizard. And send you $200 and send you to a hot concert at the arena. To win, all you have to do is make it to your seat with some money left over. Easy, right? Well, you'll find out as soon as you take part in our exhaustively researched, all true, based on real life, depressingly accurate MAD concert maze. Use one of these starting points. And so you have in this such a crazy article, just resplendent with all types of details. There's meat jam. What the hell does that even mean? And I think one pretty cool thing about this would be the fact that you can explore this either just by looking at it, or you can follow the maze. You can try to travel the paths of this and see tons and tons and tons of these delightful little doodles. I can't imagine how hard this is to do. Now, if you see these lines and they look just very, very familiar, well, if they didn't look familiar to me, but they did after I looked it up on madcoversite.com. This guy, wait, what the H? Where is he? Here we go, David Anson Russo. He was the guy who did he was the cover artist for Mad Special number 88, July 1993. Here, I'll just pull it up right now. This, you guys recall, surely. This Mad Collector series with the maze. A very, very cool Mad super special cover. Freaky as hell to look at, but I would say like one of the classics. I don't, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this. I can't even imagine starting something like this. I guess it just starts by an outline. Yeah, I guess I can imagine starting something like this. I can't imagine actually doing it. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. He also did another, I think, like for Spy versus Spy. There's a maze poster, and then Spy versus Spy. Yeah, the Spy versus Spy maze poster in 95, 97 did this cover and the pull-out poster. Really short tenure, but I don't know, really cool artist. I wonder what he's up to these days. And here we have Blunder Siege. As a Navy boy, I take offense to movies like Under Siege, and I will not give them any attention. I ever noticed the endless parade of experts who turn up on local TV newscasts to analyze the arcane stories of the day? Whether it's a Mideast fruit rot or a rare indoor tornado, you can bet that a talking head will pop up on the news offering their useless point of view. How do TV news editors produce these time-filling experts on such short notice? The answer lies in a card file that sits on the desk of every TV editor. Let's peek at some of those quirky folks as MAD now thumbs through a TV news editor's experts to call in a pinch file. This is, okay, first off, it's really weird layout. Like just the gray in the back, it just looks so naked. Like even the few marginals that appear, I don't know, why not make it look like it's a desk? Wouldn't that be fun? Here we have, I don't know, we don't have, news topic, small town disasters. Expert's name, Bertram Breathless Birdie McZumpkin. Areas of expertise, tornadoes that sound like express trains, hailstones that look like ostrich eggs, silo explosions that sound like earthquakes. Here are some comments and cautions. Sometimes confesses under pressure that he's never heard an express train, seen an ostrich egg, or witnessed an earthquake. Charges $10 extra to appear in his nightshirt as an eyewitness at motel fires. May appear too gleeful in his graphic descriptions of victims being blown up. These pictures are like, I don't know, what was the technology in 1993? Because they don't look like drawings. They look like they're photographs that are changed, altered, like with a filter. But did they have that technology? News topic, a local visit by European royalty. Experts saying Nigel Blather, former Duke of Longford and present Jaguar dealer of Long Island. Areas of expertise, drinking habits among French counts, marriages to first cousins among the Habsburgs, claimants to the throne of any country that no longer exists. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I wish I could be an expert at anything. Wouldn't that be fun? It'd be something that people call, like, hey, we got to get your thoughts on this. We'll give you money. We'll give you money to hear you talk. And now, as a public service to all you struggling singles out there, MAD presents pickup lines to use in less than sterling situations. Tom Bunk doing his bunkiest, doing the bunky chicken in an airplane crash. If that were anybody else's elbow puncturing my lung, I'd object. I'd buy you a drink if the stewardess was still alive. Those stripes are so slimming. I love this. I love this face that he draws, like this sort of like ogre face. Would it be like an ogre or a troll? An old people's home. You're going to Bingo Whiz. What are you doing when McKinley was shot? Oh, poor McKinley. Here we have In Hell, and in Hell, there's a lot of familiar faces. A lot of the MAD staff making an appearance. Is it hot enough for you? You have a little piece of dung on your lap. God. And then I wish they'd turn the Bee Gees. Turn off the Bee Gees, don't you? Ah, that one's not that great. Tom Bunk was here. I love the little signature. Read band now. Here's like a bishop. I think that's a mad guy. That, and that's a mad guy. That's Tom Bunk himself, right? Oh, there's Mickey. And there's Alfred. What me worry? Oh, I love this. That's a fun one. Very cool. Here we have baseball's most important spring training drills. Yes, indeed. Writer and artist John Caldwell. Cup adjustment calisthenics. Ooh, you got to go out of the pants, outside of the pants. Beach ball bashing, spit drills. Between inning mascot ignoring, and here's one, Morgana reacting. Yeah, Morgana reacting. For those of you who do not know, there was, I don't know, when was she most active? 80s or something? I don't know. I don't remember her. I just know about her through the dumb podcasts I listen to. And there's old people talking about stuff on the podcast I listen to. Let's go to the browser. This is a clip of Morgana the Kissing Bandit planting one on Cal. This is going to mess up my algorithm. And so you can see that John Caldwell's drawing of her wasn't much of a caricature. She was a enthusiastic, buxom young woman, and she would run out and kiss people, players. It seems like I read the Wikipedia, and I cannot help but think that she was actually hired. Like, look at the cops are always smiling. The baseball players are smiling. Nobody is upset or put off by her presence. She just does it. But I got to imagine that it was all promo, right? I don't know. But here, let's get back overhead. You can see there she is. Look how happy he is to be getting a kiss from Morgana, the kissing bandit. Would you believe that she was also an exotic dancer? Would you believe that if I told you? I don't know. Here's this must be a Dave Manick one. You can always tell if Dave Manick does the Spy versus Spy because of the sound effects. It's something nobody else did except him. And I don't know if that was from like the writer, because sometimes it's like Clark. Sometimes it's Don Edwing, but Duck Edwing, I mean. But I don't know. How about this? Contractual obligations we'd like to see some celebrities agree to. Roseanne Arnold, the above agrees that if at any time during a performance her annoying vocal whine becomes so shrill that dogs begin to writhe in pain, a portion of her salary will be donated to the Humane Society. I'm Louis Anderson. I'm Roseanne Barr. The same voice. Roseanne, young Roseanne, and Louis Anderson. What? Louis Anderson, guess what state he was from? Minnesota. That's exactly right. Eddie Murphy, the above agrees not to publish any book in which the thickness of said book is more than 3 times the size of said book's height. I guess I don't get that. How about this? Henceforth, the above's total compensation for any single film project may not be an amount equal to the combined budgets of 3 feature films in which Mr. Nicholson does not participate. Was he getting like fat checks? He was a good actor. Then he's just sort of, I don't know, not anymore. But he's old. But he kind of fell off. Anyway, you remember in Chinatown where he says to the lady, he goes, "I'm not in business to be liked. but I am in business. Anyway, real dirtbag made that movie. Look at this, a mad look at the Bible. Longtime viewers of this channel and listeners to Potter TV podcast, got to check that down. Kyle Bridget and I do a podcast together. Will know that any illustrated biblical stories are things that I am into. And these are great, the mad look at the Bible. This is my favorite one. He's really making eyes at that pooch. And then there we go. Yeah, oh, I got to text Kyle about that. He's making a database. All right, I sent him the message. Adam, listen. Name a better artist in MAD at drawing babes than Sergio Aragones. There isn't one. He's the best. But yeah, all these biblical story ones are so great. And now listen, I'm going to sound like all sensitive and stuff because, but what I like about it is that like they're funny because they're not like mean-spirited, right? A lot of times people think like, a lot of times jokes about the Bible or about religion are at the religion's expense. And I don't care if it's other religions. I care if it's my religion. But these are all like, you know, it's funny, right? Like, yeah, Isaac coming down, he must have been shitting a brick. Are you kidding me? He almost got killed, almost got assassinated. It's not an assassination, it's just murder. You know, good old-fashioned murder. A beautiful Jack Davis illustration, Where the Stars of the Ball Game, written by Frank Jacobs. And this, what is this? It's a blue dot. Apparently, William Kennedy Smith trial. No idea what that is. Please explain it in the, what is that called? Comments. They would anonymize people by just using a blue dot. So this is kind of a fun thing. It deserves, I think, probably back of the magazine billing. Here we have a lovely MAD fold-in. Now, this is what potential disaster are the Florida people bracing themselves for? Well, we won't find out because this one is not folded because my brother, like me, is not a psychopath. And then we have the other superhero deaths. Artist Angelo Torres, writer Barry Liebman. While camping in the woods, the Human Torch is stomped to death by Smokey the Bear. Aquaman dies of natural causes on a New Jersey beach. And Ant-Man and the Wasp are found dead in a roach motel. They went in for some hanky-panky, but they didn't know what checks in never checks out. But you can check out the channel every Saturday. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. I wish I had a smooth transition. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.